Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bone, Blood, and Blade, our Legend of the Five Ring stories. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller this evening. And last we left off, missing Shugenja had been discovered tied up to a tree with several bruise marks and signs of having fought an aggressive kidnapper. A crane guard had been put in charge of the encampment, and new orders were given by Doji Izanagi to make sure that everyone was moving around in groups of twos minimum. Inside the Scorpion tea room, the actual greenhouse, Kuni-san noticed that the Bayushi had set up plants from different territories. Among them were some plants from the Kirin lands. They also went and discussed some stuff with the Shiba, who is the Phoenix representative, and he told them that he was visited by Daidoji Ryunmei and then by Kakita Yotaro, and that he was going to set up a meeting with the group in the afternoon the next day with the daimyo of the city. We left off with one of the key pieces of evidence being that the rope that was used to tie up the Shugenja had some water moss, some lichen, it had been used extensively near water. And this is exactly where we're picking up, right where we left off, with you guys running towards the docks from the Bayushi's tea house. It's good to see all of you again.
Hello.
Hello.
There's algae is the word I was looking for.
Yes.
And as you guys were running in the rain towards the docks, excuse me, a realization came over Doji-san, and you asked Hida Aguro about your wife and children, and he replied that she's here, which is a nice little curveball to kind of have left.
And my response was, what?
But yes, so as you approach the docks, you can see that there's a spattering of kind of wooden docks that branch out from the shoreline. There's about four kind of large docks with boats that look to be like they can house comfortably 4 people, and there's a couple that that look like they can house 8. And then there's smaller docks that have like 2-person and 3-person boats tied up. But as you kind of walk up, and the Phoenix servant points out towards the dock itself, the Hida looks over and he's just like, I can't see the island from here. Are you sure it's out there? She nods. He's like, alright. I don't feel safe without my Tetsubo. You 3 want to go ahead while I go grab it in my armor?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I'll get the rest of the Emerald agents gathered up then as well.
And feel free to bring some Iron Warriors with you.
Oh, well, I don't have that kind of pull with your people like you do. I'll see if
Tell them I sent you. Tell them I sent you.
I mean, I'll bring your wife with me, and she can tell them that you
No.
sent her.
We discussed this. She's a courtier. She stays there. Wait a minute. My wife is here. Are my children here?
No. I offered to bring everyone. She thought it best that they stay with your father.
She's far smarter than all of us. Okay.
he laughs and he's just like, wait a second.
So who knows how to use a boat?
I have seen one
Question to
before.
Everybody.
I don't, but I'm sure I'm sure there is a peasant around here that does.
Oh.
How hard could a boat be?
I just stare at you.
I can do this.
Do they
You can.
look like a rowboat? Are they a sailboat? Chew, what do they look like?
The larger ones have a mast.
Okay.
But they also have what looks to be a kind of bicycle wheel, like the bicycle pedals, and what looks to be like the riverboat kind of wheel.
Okay.
Cool.
So it's powered.
There's a reason why we should bring some peasants with us and know how to use the boat to come back to get Hito and the rest of the group and bring them to where they dropped us off.
Plus, they might know where the island is. We can't.
Exactly.
But there's a bunch of boats. It's not just one boat.
You're right.
Let's just
But
take
we
the
don't
one
know
without the mask, because I don't know how to do that.
Is there?
But do you know
any
exactly where this
peasants
island
around?
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
generally.
Uh-huh.
I
Down the water.
I start looking for some merchants, some sailors. I start looking for some sailors.
Okay. As you're looking around, the Bayushi servant woman, she kind of looks over at the three of you. She's like, if there's no more need of me, I will go back to the tea house.
Yes, and please carry yourself.
Please.
Thank you.
She's been here the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's the one that led you.
she's
She's the one that led you.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Um,
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Okay.
do I see any merchants or any peasants?
As she rushes off into the rain, going back towards the heart of the city, you see a couple of people kind of finishing up the day's work. It looks like it's bled into the night. Like there's a hearty singing. That's what's alerted you to their presence. And you can see the light coming from what looks to be like a small shack that reeks of fish.
I head over there.
Yeah.
Are you gonna really? No, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me grab this motherfucker by the collar. Hold up. Hold up. You really about to go bother them after their long
Yes.
day of work? No.
Yes.
I can drive the boat.
I know you can.
All right.
I have full faith in you, but
All right, I get into
I
the
want
boat
to
too.
make sure that we have somebody to bring the boat back to get our friends to bring him back.
Look, Tamori, they
meet with
said that
us.
they knew how to
Because
do it. so I'm
Tamori,
in.
here we go. No, but Tamori doesn't know where the Tamori, you know where the island is, right? My friend doesn't.
And
he's
he can
bringing
go bother
people.
peasants later.
I get on the boat. I'm
No.
waiting.
I'm going to. I get on the littlest boat without the mast,
Okay.
and
yeah.
I say, "Itanagi!"
I walk over and I look at both of you and I go, I would like to
so many
formally
memories.
Put in my formally put in my protest to this before I step onto this boat.
There's so
And then I
many
step on.
there's so many memories that just wash over you of your courting process, and I use courting very loosely of when you and your wife were together.
Huh?
It's almost the same exact kind of mentality.
Because it's a dragon. They're all the same. Actually, I look at you for a second. I smile, and then I shake my head, and I just sit down in the boat.
Okay.
If you get us lost, it is on you.
I know somewhat what I'm doing, and time is of the essence, and don't bother the fish people. Crab is on my side. Crab knows what's going on.
Okay. So if you're
I
gonna
have faith in Tamori-san.
if you're gonna
The crab don't have a navy.
they
They
don't.
do.
They live in mast.
Go ahead and give me an athletics roll, please, Tamori-san.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Athletics. Where am I? Boom.
Excellent.
Oh God. Oh God. What did I miss?
A 4. The pedal system is entirely new to them, as they have never actually been on a boat before. And so the second they sit down and they start pedaling, the boat starts to kind of push itself in reverse. And then you just see it kind of create this crescent moon shape as the rope that attached it in the front to the dock is still attached. And so she's just kind of...
I grab the rope, pull us to the dock,
okay.
and I just untie it.
Okay.
And I just sit back with a smirk on my face.
Yeah. And there's just the second you untie the rope from its mooring, the full force of their pedaling in reverse kicks in, and you just start just slapping. There's just lapping of water all around you, and then there's that heavy thud as they back up into another boat.
Are you sure
This
you
is
don't want
not
me to
the
get
way.
the peasants?
I don't want
Are
to
you
get
sure
the
you don't want me
peasants. No.
I get. They're right there. They know what they're.
You wanna do the pedal, and I'll do the steering.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Switch.
Me and my little legs
Yep.
push this big boat.
Yep. So let's have you make a athletics check then, Doji-san.
Can you get a 3, please?
I hope he gets like an 8. Just to double up on you.
I'd be just as bad as the rest of you. So
17.
Boom.
there you go.
Nice.
There you go.
So see.
I remember sitting on a boat like a good 4 or 5 years ago, and seeing them do this.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay.
It also helps that you seeing that that they were going in a direction and the boat went backwards. You pieced it together that if you kick in the opposite direction, you should go forward.
It goes faster.
And it
Yes.
does, and it does in fact go forward and faster.
This is exactly. I know. Go that way.
You're
That
the
way.
one steering. I am just pedaling.
That's true.
Pedal faster.
I pedaling fast.
Crab, can you look for anything in the water that I don't have to hit nothing?
Yeah, we're
Oh
fine.
dear God.
Good.
I'm standing
okay,
at the
good.
front.
By
I'm
the
at the
way,
front anyways, so
I never do this.
Yeah.
But I'm actually praying to the water kami not to flip us over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ray, go ahead and scroll down on your list of skills to that one skill you don't have, which is sailing.
Nice.
And
that none of us have. I'm pretty
please,
sure.
The one
please,
skill no one has.
please roll that untrained.
I love it.
Oh,
That's okay.
10,
That's okay.
10 is not terrible.
And
10 is not terrible.
Hey, I got a 3 or a 4 before, so shut the fuck up.
Sure enough, the rain has made it hard to kind of get your bearings on the lake. You're used to kind of traveling during the day, so the rain, the fog, the evening are all working against you, and yet still you manage to get the ship to the island.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Between the two of you,
Oh, that's right. It's raining.
Yeah.
This is miserable.
yeah, between the three of you, kind of like one of you keeping an eye out, the other one trying to remember which way to go, and the other one just pedaling his heart out.
The old one.
Yeah,
yeah, the old guy is pedaling you.
the
How do we
eldest.
feel about this?
I feel great.
Fine. I feel refreshed.
So as we get to the island, I look at and I go, Mori-san, I noticed that you were able to move rather quietly.
Yes. What? Yeah.
And Senso-san? Senso-san? I'm assuming that you don't have a problem with it.
Why would I need to move quietly?
Are you?
Because I think that we should survey the situation before we leap in. It's only 3 of us.
Oh. I mean, you should always survey the situation. I was not going to charge headlong into battle. I don't even know what's happening here.
I was
All I
bringing
know
that
there
up
could just
because...
be a monk sitting here praying. So,
True. I was bringing that up because Mori-san here is the mountain when she starts to move that cannot be stopped.
That is not a lie.
And
So-
I rather point them in the correct direction when they are going to slice everything to bits.
Doji, I'll make you this promise on this island. I will be as stealthy as physically possible on this island.
All I can ask.
Cool.
Don't hit your head on any branches.
All right. Well,
As I reach up to pat them on the shoulder.
Okay, so once we get to the island, because I am soaked, I will take off my kimono and tie it around my waist so it doesn't grab leaves and stuff as I'm moving.
Okay. So the top part of your...
I do the same thing simply because I just thought we were all taking off clothes. And then I was like, I get it. I get it.
Do you have any wrapping to kind of...
Oh, no. I already took my thingy off, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking naked.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
How-
I'm hoping so.
How overgrown is this, island? Like, is there trees? What's it look like?
The island itself, from the little bit that you've seen during the days that you've been out here, because you can't see the island from the shoreline. It's only like maybe 100 yards to 200 yards away at the most. The island itself maybe is 300 yards in diameter, a rough diameter. It's not like an entire cookie of 300 yards. There's a temple in the center dedicated to Lady Moon. There is always a caretaker. There is supposed to be a ferry that brings you back and forth that runs during the day. And sometimes for special occasions, it will run at night to get people to different festivals that take place on the island itself.
All right. Well, as I notice them disrobing, I just kind of stare at them in, questioningly. It just, I really hope there's no poison oak on this island. And I turn back around and just start making my way deeper into the island to start investigating.
I stare at him. I stare at him walking. I look at Mori. I look back and I put my kimono back on.
Damn it, what the fuck is going on? And then I put my whatever I had to take off, I put it back on and wonder.
The only thing I took off was the top.
Right, but I didn't have the top because I gave it to
the
right because I gave it to the woman.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
that's right.
you didn't have your overgarment, but you did have an undergarment. So.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I have that straw thing to protect me from rain.
The kimono,
Tamori, I will give it to you.
There's a kimono, and then there's a jacket that goes over the kimono, and I forgot what that's called.
Yeah, so when I notice Tamori, when I notice them, because they're struggling because all they have is the undercoat on, I will give them the poncho.
Okay.
And I'll be like,
Thank
hey,
you.
here. And that way you're at least somewhat protected from the elements.
Thank you,
Won't
Crab.
freeze to death out here. You're welcome.
Oh, I'm
And,
freezing because I'm in silks. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
we're-
doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm in traveling clothes, so I look rough.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in crane traveling clothes, which is my not so nice silks.
All right. So James, you're gonna be taking the lead then with Kuni Seizo.
Yeah, I'll be taking the lead. Well, yeah, because I'm the one who dragged them here, so
Okay. Go ahead and
but
give
we're
me.
assuming that this is what they're here for. Yeah.
Give me your perception check.
Okay.
Oh, and I am moving as stealthily as I can.
Oh. You little ninja.
Yeah.
Me the fuck too.
Because I'm gonna be a good 10 feet behind Senso. So
investigation.
if I have to flank something, I can.
Okay.
Just a raw perception roll, or any skill?
Yeah, just a raw perception roll. And then Tamori and Doji, go ahead and roll your stealth. Jesus fuck. 25. 24, 17. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can you be sneakier?
To be fair, I'm not even trying.
I'm being rather.
No.
I'm
Like,
well, you are not. Yeah, you're not being sneaky at all. You're making noise, which is great because it covers us.
yeah,
As
fine.
as you're making your way forward into the island from the shoreline, you notice that there are patches of foliage that have kind of dropped from the trees and kind of created these little mounds of foliage, of kind of debris and detritus. But you also notice that some of them stick out. Some of them look a little too convenient. And as you approach one of them, you see that it's actually kind of laid out like a trap. There's a pit that has been dug up, and the plants have been used to kind of hide it. And you just managed to spot it. You can see that there's two of them in a kind of trajectory that is the normal path that people would take from the shoreline to the temple. And it looks like there's spears at the bottom. There's like broken kind of wooden shafts that look like they have something attached to their tips. But the hole themselves is like 10 feet down.
Do these look new, or are they like worn? Like, how do they look fresh?
No, yeah, these look like they might have been built in the last day or so.
Yeah, because I mean, this is on the path, right? Like, I'm not straying from the path, so somebody could hurt themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This looks like it was meant to hurt people on the path.
Okay. I'm gonna take my walking stick out now, and I'm gonna like kind of use it to prod when I walk forward, just kind of sticking it into the ground.
Okay.
But can I see? I turn around. Can I see them, or are they like gone, like super stealthy?
If with your perception, you can kind of make them out. Their shapes are. They are kind of taking pains to kind of hide themselves, but the rain kind of gives you an outline of where they are, and you know exactly where Tamori is because you gave them your poncho, so you know what that looks like.
Okay.
With the doji, he is kind of like off to the side and kind of behind a tree, like using the foliage to his advantage. It looks like.
Okay. Are they within? Are they like how close are they?
Maybe like 20 to 30 feet away from you.
Okay. I kind of walk back and I'm like, be careful of traps.
Noted.
And I turn around and I just kind of walk back, and I don't actually approach them. I just kind of walk back a bit, say it kind of generally but softly, and then I just turn around.
Okay.
And then I like I said, I walk forward and I just kind of, as I'm walking, just gently jab my walking stick into the floor and see, just so I don't walk into something horrible.
Yeah.
And I try to be light. Which
For
is not one of my skills.
yeah, for the doji and Tamori, are you guys following on the path, or are you spread out?
I'm following as closely as I can to the crab.
Okay, but on the path, or do you want to be?
I will
in
follow
the
the
foliage?
crab's path.
The crab's on the path, so I'm going to be on the path as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Because if there's traps, I'm not that good at finding those things.
Okay.
And it would be foolhardy of me to think I am.
Yeah. So as you start using your walking stick, you do find that the two pit traps are clearly easy to find right now. Even are odds in your favor.
Odds.
5. On one of your movements with your walking stick, as you kind of like shift it and kind of pull it up and then bring it back down and then kind of drag it back and forward, it catches a line, and you see this spear, like an arrow tip, kind of shoot down from a tree, like it's been released. It doesn't look like it's it's incredibly tense. Like it has enough to kind of just nick you. It looks like. But the tip of the arrow looks to have flecks of obsidian.
Oh, interesting.
Hey.
I'm gonna grab the arrow. Is it like? Can I? Is it somewhere I can grab it?
Yeah. It's a
Or
thin.
did it fly off?
No. It's
Okay.
it's dug itself into the ground. It's a thin arrow. It doesn't look like it has any fletching on it. Like it's meant to just kind of drop down from wherever harness has been attached to the trees.
Okay. Well then.
Yeah. But there is definitely something on the tips as well. There's an odor to it.
All right. Cool. I grab it. Just hold on to it, and I'm gonna keep. I hold it in my other hand now, and I'll just keep walking forward with my walking stick.
Okay. After about a good 15 minutes of this slow progress, you discover the 2 pit traps. You discover 3 other kind of wires for arrows, and this is when you start to see the kind of bonfire. It's not really a bonfire. It looks like it from the distance, and as you get closer, you notice that there's 3 braziers of fire that are on the outside of what looks to be a leather tarp that has been set up in the middle of this courtyard for the temple, and you can see that there are 2 priestesses that have been forcibly removed from their clothing. They're tied up. It looks like they might have been let kind of linger in the rain because there's a glisten to their bodies. One is older, one is younger, and you can see what looks to be 4 shapes that are moving around. One that is kind of still and closest to the 2 women. The other 3 are kind of like not patrolling, but there's a rhyme and reason to their movement. Like it's not just impatient pacing. Like they'll stay at a section for a moment, and then they'll switch around. They'll move, but it seems concerted.
Okay. I back up a little bit, just to try to get closer to my companions here. Would you like to approach together, or would you prefer a sort of maybe pincer attack?
All right.
Like I'll approach from the front, maybe, but then if things get hairy, which they probably will.
Wait, they will. Hold on. Wait.
Agreed.
Pause. So, have you already explained what we see? Do I know what you know?
Yeah, I come back and tell you that.
Okay. Hello. How are you? Hold on. Wait.
So
Please.
then
pause.
I pet your friend and
It's a kitty.
Okay. So 2 women are. You said how are they tied up?
Hard to
Just
see
like
from
one
where
rope?
hard to see from
Okay.
where he was.
Okay.
yeah, they look like they're probably tied to a post or something.
Okay. So I have an idea, and my idea is I think that one of us, I think it should be the crane. One of us should act like okay, guys, I'm very big, I'm very threatening. They're gonna feel threatened when I walk up to them.
Oh, I look creepy as hell. Yeah.
Right. The
Yeah.
crane looks like he might actually. So
Look normal.
crane,
Oh,
crane, do me.
how is your makeup?
If it's running, I don't know what it's made out of. Is it grease or something? Is it running? I don't know.
It might be
your call.
Yeah, it might be grease.
I have a hat on. Remember, I have like
Oh, okay.
that
So yeah,
straw hat.
yeah. So there's very little running then that's happened. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I put the whole the makeup
Yeah.
on.
that might be
Normal days, but-
something to use to your advantage. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if I'm like in a hurry traveling, or if it's like a dangerous situation, we don't waste our time with that because it could take like an hour to put that on.
I get you.
So but it's been on all day, so it probably is a bit cracked. Or it might be. I'm sure it's running a little bit from the water, but
Okay.
Pretty scary looking is the point, crane.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's supposed to. Okay, yeah.
We need So this is my plan. I'll propose it to you. You guys tell me what you think. Crane, we need an excuse for you to be there in the sense where kind of be like, oh, I was supposed to be here. I'm a messenger kind of situation. And me and the crab, we're going to fight these motherfuckers. Me and the crab need to go from behind and cut those girls from the tree. So when we start fighting, they're not stuck there. Because we will start fighting and we have you. But if there's 4 people, there's 3 of us.
So you want me to walk up and just delay them?
Yes.
Fine. I just start walking.
Fuck! Okay, let's go.
That's how you do it.
I will follow Tamori.
All right, we're gonna go around the backside to try to get to both. I'll get one tree and he'll get the other one.
Okay. So Tamori-san, since you're leading this, give me a perception roll.
Perception.
Just flat ring roll, please.
Where the fuck am I? Sorry, I got excited.
Yeah, it's the ring.
Perception. The ring?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's not gonna be a skill. It's gonna be the actual ring that you're rolling.
Oh. Stamina. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ding. Fucking asshole.
That's exactly what I was expecting. So
It's actually not bad for rolling 2 dice.
yeah, in your haste,
for 2 dice is actually pretty good.
The second you see the doji kind of step away and then just kind of start his trudge forward, you get flustered and kind of start to rush off, and you kind of forget that you've been warned that there are traps here.
Oh no.
And immediately as you run around as quietly as possible, you feel a sudden tug at your ankle, and then you feel the cut as the arrow kind of comes down just on your forearm. And so, let me see, what is this?
Oof. This is gonna suck.
Alright, so the arrows... Oh shit. You only take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Dope.
But now I need you to make an earth ring roll for me, please.
Earth roll.
11. Is that enough? It is enough.
Fuck yeah! Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So you can feel that there's something. You feel like there's a liquid that shouldn't be there on the arrow tip as it kind of cuts past your forearm. And you can see that there's like a little bit of green that is washing away with the rainwater. But you think that you've managed to stave off whatever nefarious kind of poison or diseased item they've placed on this thing.
Okay. I think or I know.
I mean, you feel fine right now.
Cool. Awesome.
Do you show that you're injured, or you just like?
I just do like a ow.
Okay.
Can I show Kuni really quick? Can I be like, does this look infected?
Yeah, you can show. You can show each other.
You have medicine.
What does it look like?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
So boom, you have 6 wounds.
So yeah, I just take a quick look medicine-wise at it. Because I know it was probably poisoned or something. So I still have that 1 arrow in my hand. Or whatever it is. Let's take a quick look.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine roll.
Did.
You did?
Yeah, I rolled it. Did it not show up in roll 20?
It did not show up.
Let me make that again.
That's weird.
Let me reload it. Hold on.
Yeah.
It says your connection has been interrupted. The website might be down.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right then. Well, you could roll for me, Chu.
Yeah.
I forgot what I think my intelligence is 2 and my skill is 1. No, sorry, I'm a Kuni, so my intelligence is 3.
Yeah, medicine 1.
Yeah.
Intelligence 3, yeah. 4, keep 3.
Yeah, so just roll for me.
That's not bad. 13 and 8 is 21.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's great. Yeah. You see that the arrows are indeed laced with something. And out here in the field, you don't have anything to really kind of like examine it and kind of get an idea of what it is and whether and how deadly it is. If it is like a poison, it doesn't look like it. It just kind of looks like animal feces, like a mixture of something that has been used to kind of just spread disease.
I just hold up my jade pendant to it.
No reaction.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I tap Tamori on the shoulder. I'm just like, keep it clean. It should be all right.
Okay.
We'll
Can I
get some
just like
fresh
do
herbs
like
from
a?
the Bayushi.
Can I do like this? I hope that works.
I'll dress it if you want, real quick. But we have the doji.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I just
promise
do like one of these.
I will address it
Just roll
afterwards.
Just wipe it like an animal.
Right. I just do like one of these, and then I'm like, cool.
Yeah, just completely uncouth. So as you guys are heading around to the rear of this situation, we'll follow the doji as he steps into the actual temple grounds. And you can see one of the guys, it's 4 males. One of them kind of sees you walking and immediately pulls a katana free from his scabbard. And then he points in your direction. He's like, Boltan! They're here!
I put out my hand. And I go, I have not drawn my weapon. I come in. Why have you drawn yours?
You see the other 2 that were kind of...
By the way, I am subtly slipping into center stance.
Okay. The other 2 have turned their attention in your direction. One of them has drawn his blade, but you see that the hero, their kind of leader, he just steps into the firelight. And he looks in your direction. And he's just like, "Oh, just as we were told, there would be other peasants coming for the bounty. Are you alone?"
Peasants? Peasants? Do I look like a peasant to you?
He looks at you just like, "I don't want to repeat myself. Are you alone?"
Pray
There are
to
others-
whoever and
There
be
are
like,
there are
don't.
there are others coming.
Excellent. Ojin, Gonmaru, keep your eyes open.
And my hand floats over my blade, cup up, but I'm not moving forward. I'm just like in a position where if they come at me, I make it clearly visible to them that one of them is getting cut down.
Yeah. The guy that pulled the blade on you, like he takes a step forward, and you notice that his sword, it's very subtle, and if it wasn't raining, you probably wouldn't be able to notice, but he's shaking. Like this is probably the first time he's ever actually like drawn a blade on somebody. But he just looks at you. He's like,
And then
don't do it.
child, do you want to see the next dawn?
Their leader puts his foot on the kind of tripod,
Yeah.
the point where the three legs kind of meet for the brazier that he's in front of. He's like,
Mhm.
I wouldn't insult Totoki if I were you.
I didn't insult him. I asked him a simple question.
He's anxious.
I look at him again, not at the boss. I look at the guy shaking.
Yeah.
Ask yourself this question. Is what you're doing now worth not seeing another dawn?
You see his grip suddenly tighten on the blade, and it stops shaking.
I cut him.
Oh, shit.
As soon as I see that, wham, I cut.
Okay.
I go into like full crane, one cut, one kill. Like, you know, that wham, because
Yeah.
as soon as I saw that blade stop shaking, he made his choice.
He did. Are you going to use Iaijutsu to try and get the cut in before he does anything, or are you just going
I am
for straight?
definitely using Eijutsu.
Okay, then yeah, keep it
And,
with reflexes then.
Yeah, and I'm in center stance, so I get +1, keep 1, +1.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get 1 free raise because friend of the kami.
Touche.
And my free raise is, I'm cutting his hand that's holding the blade.
Okay, so you're going for a called shot.
Yep, because it's a free raise. And a hand
yeah.
is 1 raise.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, go ahead and
He is never going to be able to hold anything in those hands ever again.
let's see if you can... If it'll
Just roll
let
20
us...
back up.
Yeah, because it let me roll.
Oh, okay. Why is it not?
Yeah, because I can't open the website. It's totally frozen.
Okay. Well, you rolled a 30.
Nice.
Jesus!
So, that's definitely higher than his TN, plus any raises that would have pushed it up, free or not. So let's see if you kill this guy.
Then did you in?
Wait, is it 3? No. Your katana is 4 keep 2?
Yes.
Okay. Oof. Oof. 36 points of damage.
Wow. Wow. I'm hurting. Like, I felt that from over here in the bushes. Like,
Right? Yeah. Just so you're aware, like, the doji himself at 34 is down.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I think I'm down. That's
So,
that about 8 points.
yeah.
So as fast as my blade slipped out, I'm standing in a center stance with my blade raised. The guy's body slowly drops to the ground, and the blade is right at the leader.
Okay.
And I ask him, "Are you ready to never see another dawn again?"
You see as you move forward, everything kind of slows down around you. The rain starts to kind of drop slowly. You can see the outlines of Tomorimori and Kuni Seizo from behind them. The other two are just kind of now reaching for their swords, and what you do notice is that the leader, as you've kind of moved past in this one fluid motion, he's kicked the brazier out so he can try to step away, and even with his one like heavy step away from you, you still manage to kind of bring the point right to his neck. And as you say that to him, and time kind of resets for you as you come out of this duelist's perception, the fire around you intensifies, and you notice that the braziers are all kind of attached to each other with fishing line, and as one falls, the other two fall as well. And the glistening that the two women had wasn't water.
Oh no!
It was oil.
Damn.
And you see them light on fire. And they're just screaming through their gags in pain. The two of you hear this in the woods surrounding the backside of the temple. And you can see that the two guys who were with him have started to kind of like scatter.
Is there any chance that we can save them?
If you go after the priestesses, yeah, you can pull them out of the oil.
Okay. Right.
And kind of
I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, throw your...
You guys do that. I'll either slow down or take down the leader.
Yep.
All right.
Because I'm not letting him get away at this point. He made his.
All right.
Right.
Hamas, what do you want to
I'm gonna rush. So they all went different directions.
No, they both look like they're going towards the path. But it looks like they're going in a more southerly direction. Like you landed directly on the eastern side of the island. Like they look like they're taking the path, but they're also they're aimed in a southerly direction.
Okay. See Doji chase after the leader, I take it? And he's going... Is the leader going
Oh
the
no,
same way as
I'm
them?
standing there in front of him.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Well,
Is he
I have
running?
to pass by the
No,
women anyways to get
Okay.
to the leader, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to run up and cut them free, because that's... Burning alive is horrible.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to go cut them free. And
Okay. Make your kenjutsu roll.
I cannot get into roll 20.
Oh.
So you could roll that for me, please.
All right.
Yeah. It's...
Let's do that. You are trained.
Yeah.
A 19.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So sure enough, your blade is just good enough with the one raise to kind of cut at the ropes instead of them. You manage to cut them free of each other, and you do cut in that one act. You do cut one of their arms each free. So they do kind of start to help each other, kind of put out the fire, kind of crawl out from under the tarp into the rain. And as you rush past them towards the other two, you see that one of them kind of drops his katana. And he yells back, I told you this wasn't gonna work.
Interesting.
And you see the one guy is like, I don't have to outrun them, and he swings downward and cuts
Oh wow!
one guy on the leg, and he drops. And the other guy just keeps running towards the south. Do you want to pursue, or do you want to catch the one guy who's crawling?
I'm gonna pursue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the leader kind of puts his hands up. He never drew his weapon. And he kind of spits in the floor in this disgust at the situation, how it turned out. Tamori Mori pulls the two priestesses out of the fire and into the rain and helps them kind of put themselves out. And Kuni Seizo catches up to this guy as he gets to the beach where you see that there is a raft that has kind of been tied up.
Okay.
But he turns, he's got his sword drawn, and there's a little bit of that red line on the blade where he cut his associate.
Okay.
And he just kind of you see him take his stance, and he's just like, I'm not going back.
Going back where?
I'm not going back to them. I was promised a different life.
Oh. Once again, going back to where?
He's going to try to take a stab at you.
That's probably gonna hit me because I don't have armor.
Well, I mean, he's a peasant with a sword.
Okay, I'm just saying. I did not come equipped with armor.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the highest I rolled was an 8, and then the other dice are 3s and 2s. So 11 does not hit you.
Ooh,
Yeah, your base.
I'm gonna punch him.
Yeah, your base TN is 15. Jiu-jitsu? Punching?
Jiu-jitsu.
Damn. Okay. Brenner roll 20.
Yeah, my roll 20 still won't load
Okay,
up.
That's fine.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's down.
Oh,
It's
wow.
dead.
That's wild.
The website won't even load up. It's down.
I don't even know why it does it for me then. You rolled an 8.
Jeez, that's horrible.
Yeah, I mean he has no armor, and so you hit him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These guys are TN5 to hit. They're not
Oh.
incredibly difficult. You hit him, you punch him across the face, and you have stone hands, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. You hear the satisfying
Jesus.
crunch. And you see him kind of like spin in place. His katana drops, and he drops down to his knees, and you hear him just kind of start crying.
Cool. I kick him into the water.
Okay.
Yep, and then I'm gonna roll him back over every once in a blue moon until he answers my questions. Because what he's done to these, to the Crane Courtier or the Shugenja, yeah, like this guy's not gonna live. Like he judge, jury, and executioner is here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, he's answered my questions, then he's gonna die.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, you see him kind of coughing up water. And he's just like, What do you want? What do you want?
What are you doing here?
We were given Koku. We were promised Koku if we stayed overnight in the haunted island.
Yeah? Who promised you?
Heikan.
Akon. Mm-hmm. Do you know those other two back there?
Yeah. Yeah. We all used to
And
be
where'd you
miners
meet them?
together.
Mm-hmm. And why would you want to stay here overnight?
For the money.
All right, I pull up the arrowhead. I'm like, who made this?
Heikan taught us how to make it.
Where did you get the arrowheads from?
There's a crafter in the north.
What happened to that crafter?
We don't know.
I stab him in the leg with the arrow.
He screams.
Yeah. They're dead.
Heikan's the one that dealt with them. I never dealt with them.
And where can I find Hakon?
I don't know. The mines?
Okay. Why did you kill the Shugenja?
I didn't
Crane.
kill the Shugenja.
Who did?
I didn't even know there was a dead Shugenja.
Does he look like he's telling the truth?
Ooh. I mean, your investigation is 6 keep 3, so you'll be able to spot it if he's not. Especially when you roll a 36. He's not lying, but he's also being deceitful about it.
Okay.
He's hiding something.
Yeah. What aren't you telling me?
We just work for Heikan. There's the Botan. It knows more about it than the rest of us.
It's Botan.
He points back towards the kind of now roaring fire at the center of the temple.
Okay. Did you hurt those priestesses back there?
No,
Really? Because they didn't look too pretty back there. They looked like they were uncomfortable.
that was Botan.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll him over and drown him.
Okay, okay. there is,
We're just gonna kind of kick him into the water and just hold him there.
yeah, there's maybe a minute or two of struggle, and then the bubbles stop, and the body just kind of goes limp.
Cut off his head, and then I just start making my way back up the path.
Okay. Back in the temple.
I also grabbed the katana because I want to look and see if it looks like it's made by somebody or if I can tell. So
sure.
I'll pick it up and I'll walk back to camp with it.
Okay. What about the other guy? They got his leg cut off on the way back.
Is he still there?
Yeah. He's got his katana back, and he's crawling.
Cool.
Like, he sees you
What does he
coming
do
up
when
to
he
him.
sees me?
He sees you, and he's just like, ah, fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab him by his leg and drag him back to the camp.
Okay. In the camp, in the actual temple grounds, Tamori Mori helps the two priestesses kind of douse themselves, turn out, like, just immediately kind of free themselves of the oil, kind of helps them with minimizing the burns. They are going to be hurt, and they're going to need some medical attention, but it could have been worse. And all the while, the leaders kind of had his hands up, just real pissy attitude about how everything turned out.
The same questions that he was asking, I'm going to be asking of the leader.
Okay.
Like, what possessed you to start killing my kin? Because I'm assuming at this point that he's responsible for everything that's been going on, because I don't know
You can assume that. Yeah.
that there's anyone behind him.
Yeah, he looks at you. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I press the tip of the blade to his Adam's apple, and I go, do you want to answer that again?
He takes in a deep breath, like, really carefully. And he's like, we were told to come to the island for Tenkoku. We didn't kill anyone.
Did try to kill those two, and I motion to the Shukenja.
He's like, we were told if things went south to buy ourselves some time to escape.
By who? And where could I find them?
You see him take a moment, like he's trying to figure out what to say.
Am I within earshot?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna yell.
He's the only way.
I'm gonna yell, if you want to survive, pass the buck to your boss. It's the Egamon. Even though Doji's doing a good job.
You see his eyes kind of travel into Mori's direction, and then he slowly comes back to you. He's like, his name is Heikan.
Family name? Just Hakon?
Yeah, we're not samurai.
I'm trying to think about how I'm going to handle this.
Yeah.
So where do I find this Hakon?
I don't know. The mines, maybe.
Where did you find him?
The mines.
Are there any last words you would like before you meet your ancestors?
Wait. I don't know where the mines are.
I just...
Hold on. Not yet.
Huh?
Hey, you can cut out his tongue.
No. We need him to talk. It looks like that your knowledge has bought you seeing one more sunrise.
I doubt I'll make it that long.
We'll see. So where are these mines? And be as precise as possible.
The north.
That's rather not precise.
You can't miss them.
And I look over real quick because my mind is always working in 3 or 4 directions at once. Mori-san,
Yeah.
you might want to walk your way to the shore and make sure our friends do not fall into the traps on the way here.
In the other crab?
Yeah, they're coming. They might be behind us and going to fall into traps any second now.
Oh, okay. What? Give me your kimono! Give me your top!
You yelling at the guy?
No. Well, yeah, him too! Give me... No, you know what? Take all his clothes off. Give me all his clothes.
There you
Give me
go.
all his
I just
clothes.
look at-
I'm covering up the priestesses, you jerks! Give me all his
no.
clothes.
I agree. I agree. And I look at him and go, as they said, as the
Yeah.
dragon spoke, quickly.
I'm not leaving these... Like, give me the... So, I take it off of him. Whether or not he struggles, I don't care. I give it to the ladies, and I'm like, cover yourselves how you'd like. Be right back.
As you disrobe him, you will notice that on his back there is a brand that takes up the entirety of his back. It looks like it was painfully and ceremoniously branded into his skin with like
Of course he was paid 10 koku.
and the brand is the kanji for money, for wealth.
So, I look at the scar. I look back at him. And I go, you lied to me. This is your last chance to speak truth before you meet your ancestors. If you do, you might ascend a little cleaner than you are now.
He looks at you and he's just like, I've answered your questions that you've posed.
Which group are you part of that uses that symbol?
The group has no name.
I want. I don't know what skill that would be.
To do what?
Lying. If I could tell if he's lying.
Oh, that would just be an investigation.
Sincerity? Investigation.
Yeah.
I have to. Oh, by the way, it's working for me again. Let me see if it rolls.
Okay.
And looks like it's working.
Yeah, 10.
Yep, 10. Yay.
He's not lying about the organization not having a name. But he kind of looks over his shoulder and he's just like, their time is coming to an end. Soon we will eat the rich.
Interesting. Standing or on your knees?
He's
At
like-
least I've given you that choice.
He smiles and he's like, I don't think you really did give me a choice. And as he says that, his whole body bursts into fire.
Oh!
It is green. And there is a kind of tinge of black veins in it. And as he conflagrates into this spontaneous combustion. You see the Kuni coming back into the temple grounds, dragging one of the other guys that ran off.
I step backwards and I go into a defensive stance. Like, just stepping away from him, but if it comes at me, I'm slicing it.
Oh yeah, no, he just falls over on fire.
Well, I didn't know if he was gonna, ah! You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look over at Kuni-san and I go, I had nothing to do with that. He had the symbol, the one that we've been finding for money, branded on his back. I think we just lost him.
We might have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It keeps happening in the last hour.
There he is.
No.
Branded on his back. And you might want to check his. And I point at the one he's dragging.
As I get there, I just kind of let his leg go. Show us your back.
He does so.
How does it look?
There's nothing there.
Good.
Disrobe all the way.
Before he
Give
turned
it to
into
me.
a before he turned into a ball of flame, he said that they will eat. That their time was coming to an end, and they would eat the rich.
All right.
You
I
see,
mean, merchants can be a pain in the ass, but jeez.
yeah, you see the guy struggling to take off his pants because he got his leg cut.
Yeah.
And he's making a big deal out of it. Like, he's wincing, he's complaining about the pain.
Can I just
Just
go-
end him.
No,
Can I just go up to him and just like take them off like forcefully?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Perfect.
At this
I'd do
point,
that.
I start walking toward the beach,
Okay.
avoiding where the traps were, to wait for the crab and everybody else. 'Cause I'm worried that my best friend is gonna come over here and fall into a trap.
Oh, yeah.
Once all the women are dressed,
Yeah.
I come and crouch next to this guy and this new guy, the one without a leg,
Yeah.
and ask, so what's your story? Tell me a little bit about you.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna like stop his bleeding so he doesn't bleed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in the village.
Do I know him, Will?
He's a peasant. He looks like a fisherman. So
Okay.
probably does not hang out in the circles that you hang out in. He's like,
Excuse me.
Cat butt.
Excuse me.
but he's like,
Okay.
I'm, I'm a fisherman. I was promised.
Why are you here?
I was promised money,
How much?
10 koku.
Do you know how to steer a boat with one leg?
Yeah, it's the pedaling that I can't really do.
Go to the shore and wait for us if you want to live.
To make him crawl to the shore.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna hop. Go.
By myself?
Shoo shoo. Yes. Yes. You set 2 women on fire. Shoo shoo. Go. You'll make it if you want to survive.
And he starts.
Is the fire still going?
No, it's eating up the oil at this point. But you see him just like take his katana and use it as like a walking stick and just kind of like hobble towards the shore.
All right. He's out of the way. And we lost James. Frozen.
Might be.
How far is the temple from here, Will?
On the island, you're in the temple grounds.
Okay. So it's not far at all. So I can go inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I stealthily go inside and look around?
Yeah, I mean.
By myself? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, sure. You could break off and just go into the temple grounds.
Cool. I will do that.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go check out the priestesses and make sure I'm gonna do medicine on them and make sure that they're like just
Nice.
address the wounds. Make sure that they're not
Nice.
gonna, suffer any trauma. Or, like try to just mitigate the damage that's been done.
Okay,
Sort of
sure,
just help them.
sure. Yeah, you see that you and Tamori kind of start walking over there, and then as you kind of crouch down, Tamori just is not there anymore. At that after you're done, kind of tending to their wounds and whatnot, and by that point you kind of see them come out of the temple.
Okay.
But yeah, on the shore that you guys landed, Doji, you see a ship coming with what looks to be a few people that you weren't expecting. Excuse me. Hida Oguro is there. Excuse me. Kakita Yotaro is there. Mirumoto Kamaki is there, much to your chagrin. And then you notice that there is what looks to be a very regal-looking phoenix and what looks to be a very light-armored lion. And as they pull up to the shore, you see Hida Oguro kind of the first one to jump down. He puts his big old Tetsubo on his shoulder and he comes over to you. He's like, please tell me that there's somebody left for me to bat around.
Will, where is the one-legged guy?
You let him walk off by himself.
Yeah, I know, but he might be walking up behind me right now. That's the point.
Oh, no. Nobody went with him. He is going to his ship.
He took off.
He's going to his raft.
He's a dishonorable bastard, and he went off on his own.
Yeah.
So I look at my friend, and there's a look of realization that comes over me, and I go, "This was a distraction.
What?
We have to head back. This was a distraction. They were paid to stay on the island overnight. They knew we were coming. This was a distraction to get us and you guys over here and not over there.
Why? What's possibly over there that? And then
there's
you see
more
him,
of them.
You see him stop, and he's just like, the Daidoji. And everybody immediately kind of like, as they're about to deboard, he's like, nope. And he just grabs the front of the ship and starts pushing it by himself into the water. And you see the Mirumoto kind of look at you. He's like, of course you'd be here when something goes wrong.
I just I give a shrug. Because I have nothing at this point. And I scream out at the top of my lungs, Tamori! Kone! Like as loud as I can. And I'm heading over to our boat.
Okay.
Because I just realized my wife is back there.
Yeah. Yep. And sure enough, as you guys are kind of dwindling down with your business at the temple grounds and the rain has started to abate, you just hear over the kind of soft pitter-patter of the lingering rain your names being yelled out.
Sounds like a crane's in trouble.
Yeah, because we just hear the names yelled. So, how bad are the priestesses?
With your attention, they could go an hour without actual medical attention, but they do need to be looked at. There's.
Can we take them back with us?
Yeah, can they walk? I'll carry one.
I'll pick them up.
All right, so you can
I'll
use
pick both of them up.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, I'll walk ahead of them and just make sure there's no that Tamori they don't step in any traps.
Okay.
And I'll take this animal that I found too.
Let's have Tamori Mori make their athletics check to pick them up.
Don't fucking fail me. I'm trying to impress some ladies. Hold up.
use a void point. Just a piece of advice.
Oh, perfect.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Wow.
20. Yeah.
When it comes to impressing the ladies, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
There's no need.
And the cats.
Yeah. So you firemen carry each of them over one shoulder, each one over each of your shoulders. And the older one winces a bit, but she doesn't complain. Like she's burnt. She's got better things to worry about than just the slight pain of being carried. The younger one is simultaneously impressed but also in pain. And as you guys make your way back to the river, back to the raft rather, to the shoreline, you see the crane sitting there on the boat. But
This was a distraction to get us over on the island and not in the mainland.
Yeah,
Move.
Your little friend is nowhere to be found.
What, one leggy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Had a boat farther south on the island.
So,
Probably
question:
there.
are the mines on this island north?
No, they're on the mainland.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
I
Cool.
I helped load up the two priestess. Hopefully Tamari will hand them to me. I load them up, get them comfortable, and I'm gonna sit across from them because I'm gonna talk to them while we go because I want to ask them some questions.
Okay.
Let's go.
So sure enough, it's easier to get back to the mainland than it is to get to the island, especially now that the rain has kind of abated itself. And you see them kind of shivering and trying to hold each other, and at the same time kind of like not trying to aggravate any of their burns.
Mm-hmm.
But the older one just kind of like looks at the three of you. She's like, "Thank you for your help. I don't know what we would have done if we were left with them."
How we got there when we did?
I'm totally not even paying attention and pedaling as hard as I can.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm thinking the worst case scenario with my wife back there.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Not only my wife, but my clan, my charge. Yeah, I'm like freaking out at this point.
Yeah. Like even with the time that it took them to kind of get to your boat, you can see that you're catching up to the boat with all the agents, the Imperial agents.
Nice.
Yeah, you never felt this kind of speed from him getting to the island. Like there's a fire under his ass.
I'm steering to the best of my abilities. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah. I basically want to ask some general stuff like what were those people doing there? Did you notice them doing anything in particular? Just some of that kind of stuff.
Apparently they had been there since yesterday. We only became aware of them today when they were setting up their traps on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
There was something strange about them. There was a lechery in the three that their boss didn't share with them, that he didn't allow.
Interesting. Did they tell you why they were there?
They just said that they were doing it for some prize, for something that had been promised to them.
Okay. Is there anything else you could think of? I will be staying at Bayushi's tea palace or tea house. Feel free to contact me there if you think I should. If there's anything else you could think of.
Of course.
But until then, take care of yourself.
The only thing that I didn't hear them talk about was a list that they had mentioned to each other.
Oh, yeah. You You know what? Did they say anything else about this list?
No, they didn't. They were careful not to talk too much about it in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they would let it slip. Something about a list and how it's safe in the box that they were given.
Oh, interesting. There's going to be a box somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The question is where. You can hunt down the one-leg man later. He's going nowhere.
It'll be easy to
Yeah,
find.
where are you going? You're going nowhere.
Yep.
Wow, look, we found these tracks with 1 foot and a little stabby next to it. I wonder who that is.
Yeah. Right.
How much light is there on the boat right now? Or is it pretty dark still?
It's pretty dark. Luckily you have a waxing. What's it called? Half moon.
Give it.
No.
I look at the katana.
It looks like it is. It is clan made. There's
Oh.
Yeah, there is a clan marking,
Mm-hmm.
or rather a clan's myth marking, that you recognize as being crab.
Oh. Oh then.
Yeah.
I tie it up and I put it across my back.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to ask where they got these from.
Yeah. But you see, as you kind of catch up to the boat with the Imperial agents, the large crab sees you, and you see with a big smile he grabs an oar and he just starts helping to paddle faster. And he
Just
kind
look
of
at the dragon, and I'm like,
They're steering.
yeah. He just shakes his finger at you.
You can steer like this and make it go faster.
No.
Hold on. There are some people in the boat I'd like to impress. You're correct. I'll do it.
So she takes the steering thing out and she starts doing this on either side to get us to go faster.
We're fucking going. Hold on to your hats, crab.
It's
The little paddle boat suddenly feels like a motorboat.
Yeah. But it is an interesting kind of. It does bring an interesting kind of levity to have this race to shore, especially with Hida Aguro just kind of like occasionally just switching the side that he's rowing on, and then just kind of like shaking his finger like no at your vessel. And then at the one point you hear him just kind of like berating the other samurai on his ship, and how there's more of them than there are of you, and then you see the lion kind of like grab an oar and he starts helping. And
That's
definitely
not fair.
the Mirumoto definitely helps out, and you see that they get to shore first.
There were
Of course,
more
he
people
needed
in
to cheat and use more people.
Exactly. He cheated.
should have
Cheaters
put
are
the
cheaters.
priestesses to work.
No.
You're in horrible pain
Actually,
here.
actually, if one of them had a scroll with the water symbol on it, I would have been like, "You're doing something, right?"
Yeah, they're trying not to die.
I was joking. I wouldn't have done that. But
Yeah.
anyways,
No.
so as soon as we get to shore, this is good. Wow.
So I start making my way towards the. Actually,
You are going to have to make me make an honor roll because I want to go to where my wife is, but my duty pulls me to my clan.
Yeah. There's a moment where the Hida steps over to you and he starts to kind of tell you where your wife is staying. And as he does, you see this plume of dark, just black and gray erupt from the south end of the city where the Crane Enclave is.
I run that way. I
And
just book it. I can
there's
see that.
screams.
Oh, Jesus.
And your wife isn't near there, right?
No.
Doji? Okay. Me and Kuni
so-
got this. You go to your wife.
Oh, you just made it harder for me. Thanks. Okay, roll
Well,
my...
I'm gone already. Like, I ran off while you guys said
Yeah.
that. The second I saw the explosion.
I don't know what TN you want to give me, but I have 7 honor to roll.
Yeah, roll your honor.
Damn, it's Mr. Honorable over here.
Yep. Wow. How would I roll 7? I guess I just put a number somewhere.
Hold on.
Yeah. You do it for me, because I don't know how to pull that off.
Yeah. Okay. 4, 6, 7. Okay. Well, you did get a 10, so you just barely have enough in you, given everything that's happened, given the sheer amount of pain that your charge has been through. You manage to kind of pull duty to the forefront rather than love. And there's a very kind of somber moment as you look in the direction that Hidoguro pointed at before he kind of started running after the rest of after Tamori and Kuni. And you can imagine the look, the smile on her face as you enter the room. But then you also kind of get the glimpse of your charge and how pained she looked when her handmaiden had been reported being murdered. And that kind of, the idea of your father and what he would do suddenly kind of bubbles up. And before you know it, your feet are already kind of pulling you towards the south.
And I yell. I look at Oguro. And I go, actually, is there any other crane among them?
Yeah, the Yotaro. Kakita Yotaro.
Is there a dragon among them?
Yep, the Minamoto. Kameki, your nemesis.
I look at my nemesis. And I go, no, he won't. Definitely won't. Shit. I look at Hida and I go, Hida? I just give him the look of, please go look at my check the rest of them. And I run. And hopefully he will, because I love him, but honor for him really is very low on the totem pole.
Yeah. No, there's even with the little bit of spatter of rain that's falling, you hear the loud kind of thud and the splash of him kind of dropping his Tetsubo in disappointment.
Yeah.
And then as you kind of turn back to look at him, like he's just dragging it like a sullen little like kid that's been told to put it back in its corner. As he makes his way towards your
because they're
wife.
probably the next target, and you will probably be bashing things.
He picks up the pace, but his head is still low.
Oh, I know it is, but I had to. I couldn't do nothing to protect my wife.
Yeah, I get you. And sure enough, the three of you arrive at a gruesome scene as you see that there has been an upturning of the earth itself. It looks like pockets of what is now cooled to obsidian. What once was like magma has been pulled out of the earth and kind of forced these tents to burn to cinders. And I
go to the main tent if it's still there.
Oh, against all odds, the main tent is still standing. there are two Shigenja that are just sitting there outside chanting and just in the mid prayers. They look like they've been there for at least a good 20 minutes. And you see a few people that have managed to kind of get into their protective dome.
Are those the two I put in charge?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. And you can see that there are some survivors. They whoever managed to get into the dome is one of the few that can claim that they survived whatever happened here.
Is
among
Kikita
them-
there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Is my cousin there?
no. He is not.
Okay.
But
Actually, if he died, I'm a little saddened because I kind of hoped there was hope for him. But
oh yeah, no. Damn.
okay, I just run into the tent to make sure that my charge is okay.
Yeah, as you get up to the dome, you feel that there is a resistance there. The wind pushes against you, and you see the Kakita draw his blade on you.
I hold my hands out. I go, it's me.
How do we know it's you?
I say a quote that he quoted to me about my father a few days ago.
You see his sword just drop. And you can see that there's a weight that has been lifted off of his shoulders. And he just yells out, "Let them in! Let them in!"
And as I walk up, I put my hand on the shoulder of the two Shigenja, and I look at them, and I go, "Your ancestors, I've smiled upon both of your honor today. Thank you."
They bow to you, and you see your Daidoji charge kind of step out from behind some other samurai that are protecting her. And she looks over at you. You can see that she's been crying, that somebody told her about her older sister. And without even an ounce of sarcasm or facetiousness,
Yep.
she just looks at you. She's just like, "Is this worth it, Doji-san? All of this, is it worth it?"
Who are we to question the wisdom of the Emperor?
She nods and she goes back behind her screen. And you just...
By the way, when I do say that, there is an ounce of sarcasm in it.
Yeah.
I'm like telling her, no, it's not, but
Yeah.
I can't say it publicly.
Yeah. She goes back behind the screen and you just hear her sobbing quietly. Try not to be a nuisance.
And I go up to the Kikita, and I hug him.
Okay. For Tamori and Kuni, this is the first time you've ever seen him show this kind of affection. And even the Kakita kind of like does not reciprocate the hug. Like he just kind of has his hands down on his side. But you do feel like he puts his head down on your shoulder. And there's a very quiet thank you.
And you honor my father and your ancestors.
One of the Shugenja comes over to you as they're catching their breath, and he excuse me, he points at some of the dead bodies. He's like, who have we angered, Doji-san?
It
Well-
seems a group that uses the symbol for money, for koku,
Gold.
has decided that to strike out against those who are, as in their words, rich.
You see that they upturn their hand, and there's a heavy breeze that kind of pulls against one of the face down bodies, And as it turns over to look up at you, even through the mud, you recognize the face staring back at you. Because you've seen it anytime that you stare into a reflective surface.
Hmm?
Oh, it looks like you.
And the other Shugenja does it to another body, and it turns upwards, and it's the same thing.
Doji?
I walk over and look at those.
That totally explains why the first time one of my family were killed, they seem to have been talking to another member of my family. They could take the shape of others. I stab at one of the bodies with my katana, like cutting them open a little bit to see if inside they look like normal people.
They don't. They look like husks with a puppeteer's frame inside.
They're puppets.
I step back and I'm like,
I've seen manipulation like this before.
do tell.
When I was with my teacher, we were hunting a Mahosukai, and one of them was able to puppeteer various corpses in this manner.
So apparently this one could create corpses that look like other people or shape corpses.
This might not be an actual human body. This could just be something crafted.
We have a lead that their leader might be staying in the mines to the north.
Yes, I was told that as well.
Okay, so we're going to move all the crane that are left.
To the mines.
What? No.
They won't
To
expect
the
it.
They'll never see
to
it coming.
Yeah.
they'll never see it coming. You piss off the cranes, you piss off all of us. No. They can't stay here. It's not safe.
Obviously.
So I'm going to ask the I forgot what the main building is called.
The magistrate building with the daimyo, where the daimyo sits.
Magistrate building. Is it big enough to house them all? To house the ones that are left?
The ones that are left, yes. Yeah. Some of them will be cramped, but they do have enough to kind of give the Daidoji her own room. And the top people that you kind of have designated as your kind of the main council can have a room,
Yeah.
and then everybody else can kind of like fit into like 3 or 4 rooms.
Then I'm going to. I look at Mori. Mori-san. Would you join me to the magistrate building? I have a favor to ask.
Yes?
Seeing that you live here and you know them more than I do, I was
Yeah.
hoping that you could ask for me to speak to them. Because my
Okay.
family needs
Yeah.
a place to stay that's safe.
Oh yeah, no, that's not the part I think is funny. I think that it's funny that you want me to ask instead of you. But yeah, I got you.
Because this is a very formal request. Okay.
And
that-
I will be as formal as possible.
I see they don't know. I come to realization that they don't know a lot about court
Oh, not at all.
stuff and court. Okay,
Not at
so
all.
on the way there, I explained to them about because I am asking for a favor to be done in a formal manner, which means I need to be invited, I need to be introduced, and you are the only person I trust to do that in this city. And I realize all my choices are not very, very shallow.
So
But
what you're saying
I've
is,
seen them handle things with tact with peasants. So I'm hoping that they can pull this off with the 5-minute crash course that I will be giving them on the way there.
Yeah. Yep.
What you're saying is, I have to do this because you can't. You're unable to. That's what you're saying.
I am able to, but it
No,
would
no.
break
Hold on.
certain.
Ooh, I'm sorry. That wasn't the correct answer.
Are you really going to hang this over me after everything that I've gone through today?
Doji, I'm going to personally make sure all of your crane that are remaining are safe in the magistrate building. That being said, you have to ask me nicely.
Dear God, you are so much like my wife, it is terrifying.
I don't know if that's a
Mori-san.
compliment or an insult.
Mori-san, would you please help me?
That wasn't very hard. Yes, absolutely, I will help you. I was going to help you regardless, but I'm glad.
And as we go over, I go over the finer points of the court again with them one more time. I'm like, you got it, right?
So I go up to them, I burst through the door.
No! 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 And then I realize that they might be joking with me.
Assert dominance early.
I hope so. And when we get there, I go, Mori-san, just, yes. As I told you, as you seem to think best. I cannot control you. All I can do is ask you.
Yeah. As you
All right.
are walking up to the magistrate building, you see that the Bayushi is already kind of like standing at the entrance, like he's waiting for something. And as he sees the two of you approach, actually,
Yep.
James, did you go with them?
No, I was gonna talk to the Shugenja for a bit.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so go ahead with them.
So as you two approach, you see him standing there, and he sees the two of you, and he bows. My little dragon.
I bow very
bow.
deeply and try to mock the crane as best as I can.
Yeah.
And say, what's this guy's name again? I fucking forgot.
Bayushi.
Okay. Bayushi-san, I hope that I honor all of your ancestors that have ever lived by introducing you to this crane.
And I had such high hopes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
they're gonna do it. They're gonna.
Nope.
No.
Dash. He tilts his head at you, and he's just like, my little dragon. I have had the pleasure of meeting this crane before.
I
But-
turn to the crane and I say, you have had the pleasure of meeting Bayushi before.
I come to ask a favor.
Might it have to do with the sudden eruption that we witnessed from the encampment to the south?
It seems that I forgot the way you say it. The people that use Mago are called
Mahosukai.
Mahosakai has attacked the encampment, and the rest of my entourage, the rest of my clan is still in danger. May they stay here.
You have proof that there is a Mahosukai after you.
I have the name of a Kuni hunter that what he has witnessed is the same as what we have seen there.
These are bold allegations to levy, Doji-san. This is a quiet village. There are...
We have brought much attention to this village.
Mhm.
Maybe that attention brought this attention. I'm not saying that it was here before we got here.
Oh,
May have followed us.
I see.
I do not assume to anything of the sort.
Of course.
For all we know, they came because the news of the wedding has reached the ears of almost everyone in the Empire.
Of course. How I apologize for assuming that you were trying to disgrace the name of this village.
No. I apologize for not making it clearer when I stated it.
No, please. It was brazen of me, and I apologize. I should have assumed that it followed you into the city.
I just bow very deeply to that.
Yeah. And he looks at you. He's like, I have already asked the other magistrates to meet with me concerning the situation. So, please, by all means, come with me. Both of you. I think it would behoove the two of you to see.
Me too.
Yeah, of course. You were witness to all of this, were you not?
I know, Bayushi, but sometimes I just get.
Would you like the hunter to be here as well?
No. Luckily, he is staying at the Lotus House that I own, so I can speak to him privately should the need arise.
Before we move or leave, I want to sternly ask the Bayushi, do you think the crane will remain safe here? Because they have not had a moment's rest since they've been here.
I can only assume that putting them in the building should facilitate our assistance with protection.
Okay.
And being that you are part of the Ashigaru magistrates in charge of the village's protection, I can only dream that you have given this doji your utmost assurance that you won't let anything happen to him or his family while he is in our lands. And then he kind of looks at the doji and you can see even through the layers.
I saw the trap that was just laid.
Even through the layers of his silk, you see that there's a smile there. He's just like, "Is this not so, Doji-san?"
Even though it was not said, it was implied.
Exactly.
That is delicious, and I am glad that clan has less to do with honor and the niceties that befall our station. And he kind of gives Tamori a nod, and as he does, you see one of his servant girls come over, and he's like, "They will see you now, Bayushi-san." He nods and he's like, "Come along."
And I let the Bayushi take a few steps.
Yeah.
And I whisper quite low, "Well done, Morisa." And I walk.
Well done. And I walk.
And sure enough, as you walk into the courtroom, you can see that Shiba Yagao and Kitsuki Naomaru are there, and as Bayushi Saimon enters, he bows to his other representatives, and he's like, "Lady, gentlemen, if I may be so bold, I'd like to introduce Doji Izanagi to those of you that don't know him. And of course, all of you know Tamori Mori, who is with him. They have witnessed some disturbing things in the southern enclave. But he would also like to ask a favor of us." And you see that he motions for you to enter, and then as he does, he kind of steps over to his seat on the dais, and he sits down.
I walk in. I kneel. I get down to my knees.
Mm-hmm.
I take out, my katana with its scabbard, and I put it behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bow low. I ask for safe shelter for my clan here in the magistrate house.
The Kitsuki leans forward. You have been a lively group, given the clan stereotype. And she kind of, shrugs at the mention of stereotypes. It seems that an ill wind has followed you to Shiromori Sato.
I don't say anything. All I do is bow again, and like in acceptance of what she said.
The Shiba looks over at you. There has been a kind of turbulence, I think is the good word to use, since your arrival here. And he looks over at the two of you, and right as he's about to say something else, you see the Bayushi open his fan, and that kind of gets his attention, and he's just like, and the Bayushi says, I think of anyone here, our little dragon can be a witness to what has happened, since they have been in their presence the longest. We've only had to be nice enough to give them land, but our little dragon is the one that's coiled themselves around their hospitality, one could say.
I would like to either, I don't know if it would be sincerity or investigation or etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that he's setting a trap. And I have been around my sister long enough
and your wife
to kind of see and my wife, to see one of these coming.
Go ahead and roll your courtier skill.
No, I don't have that.
Yeah, so that's going to be an untrained roll.
Untrained.
Oh, 19.
No idea what I rolled. I just pressed.
Yeah.
Booyah! My sister's rubbed off on me.
Yeah, he is definitely setting a trap. Like he is looking for them to put their foot in their mouth in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to step in. Actually, using etiquette, is there any way I could compliment what they have done in a way to open the door for them to say what's happened and save face and make them look awesome?
You do have it trained.
I am trained.
Yeah.
I am trained in etiquette.
Let's see what
So
happens.
am I.
Let's see what happens.
By the way, surprisingly.
I like that. So am I, bro. 19.
I don't know. You know what? Wow. Damn.
38.
Whoa!
38. Hot damn.
Fucking classy shit, motherfucker!
Yeah.
I'm a crane. What do you expect?
Yeah. Sure enough, you see the trap that's being laid out. It is something that he kind of showed his hand at outside. And you were almost expecting something like this out of him. Like, he is a scorpion, and he's a courtier, kind of like a court-driven scorpion from the looks of it. Especially with his silk mask, like he doesn't have a menpole like the typical samurai do for their masks. And so the second you hear the verbal trap, you're reminded immediately of the traps that you kind of overcame on the island, and your mind kind of comes up with its own kind of walking stick prod to kind of get to the position that you can keep the alley open for Tamori, but at the same time make sure that they're not they're not being served up to a shark. That they're actually, not in the water, but they have a boat and they have a fishing line, and that they're prepared for the fight ahead. And you see, the second you do that, the scorpion closes the fan, and he taps his knee twice, and he nods at you.
And I just give the smallest of smirks back. I realize that we're just playing a chess game at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I look over at Mori-san, like, it's your turn. I've opened the door. It's the best I could do. Luck.
What exactly would you like to know about Yushi-san?
And you see he looks over in your direction. He's like, please share with the court everything that you've seen in the presence of this doji for us, if you don't mind. And as you regale them with whatever story you want to think about, we'll jump back over to James and the Shugenja that are there still at the crane encampment. You see that they're kind of taking notice and cleaning up as best as possible. The little Edda couple that you've kind of been dealing with are there, and as they're piling bodies, there's a kind of like whistling to their work. Like they're not happy, but they're content that they're actually like being put to work.
Okay.
But yeah, the Shugensha just kind of looks at you, and you notice that they look away a lot. It's probably because of how much the makeup is just really making them uncomfortable.
Yeah, understand. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah, it's working.
Yeah. What can you tell me about this attack?
It came out of nowhere. We were barely able to protect the Daidoji-sama. I don't even know. I know that there was one eruption. It was in the tent of the Kakita that Doji-san had put in charge.
Okay.
He was asked to kind of become the head of the security, for our encampment, and he was the first one to kind of be taken down. Then they went after one of our Shugenja's tents, who luckily had not been in the tent at all.
Okay.
Because we were convening with Daidoji-sama about what to do. And then there were just eruptions, and we could, luckily, one of my benefits is that I had been blessed from a previous kind of marriage in my ancestry to a crab, so I have an earth kami that helps me deal with my deficiency. And he warned me of how many more were coming, and we managed to create the barrier to help protect the Daidoji and what few we could. But I don't know when the others were replaced, I guess is the word, or I hate to even think about it. Tainted.
Yes. Mm. Have I ever seen magic like that before? In terms of the, looks like apparently magma coming out of the ground. Too.
You know that at certain expertise and with the right affinities, a Shugenja can kind of blend kami together, but that requires like an intense kind of study or a communing with the kami themselves to kind of produce that. And as you start to kind of like look around and see, kind of like put two and two together, see if you've ever seen this before or whatever. One of the Edda, the male Edda, kind of looks over at you. He's like, "Kuni-sama, there's something inside this body," and you see him kind of pulling open the body that Doji cut.
Okay, I get up and walk over, look at it.
It looks like a husk,
and
he's kind of like put on his heavy leather gloves to grab it, and you notice that as he grabs one of its legs, it twitches, and you see him kind of like yelp, and he backs off, and then he kind of looks into it again, and then he reaches around and grabs a stick, and he kind of like pokes at it, and it doesn't react to that. And once that happens, you see him just kind of like grab it, and he pulls out what looks like a desiccated and long dead spider the size of a human head.
Whoa.
Yeah. And there's still, as he pulls it out of its kind of like abdomen, like its anal cavity, you can see the webbing still kind of like attached to this puppet.
Okay, I'm gonna do like a lore Shadowlands on that thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. No, 24.
Nice. It isn't something that you remember seeing or hearing from anyone particularly as relating to the Shadowlands itself, but it does remind you of that one hunting trip right after your Genpuku training where you saw the webbing in the sky and the deer carcass.
Yes. Mm.
And
it would appear...
You think back and you remember during the dissection after we left off with you. During the dissection of the deer carcass, you remember seeing that there was a dried up spider within its cavity, and that the two of its front legs and two of its rear legs had kind of forced their way into replacing the veins that worked their way down the four legs. So it was kind of operating it like a puppet.
That's what I was afraid of. Either we didn't get the You didn't get that one, or there's more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And you see the Edda look at you. He's like, "Will the other bodies have spiders as well, Kuni-sama?"
Yes.
And you see immediately he does a hand gesture towards his wife, and she nods, and she immediately stops loading them to be taken away, and she starts to kind of like pull them all together to be burned as one big pyre.
Yeah. Hmm. It's a dark day. I go back inside the tent.
You see the Kakita, he kind of like steps in front of you
Mhm.
as you go to make your way into the tent, and he's just like, I apologize, Kuni-san, but without Doji here, I cannot let you interfere with my mistress.
Are the other Shugenja still in there too?
No, they're outside.
Oh, they're outside?
Yeah.
I am going to be super paranoid, and I am going to inspect the Kakita for taint. And I'm going to basically inspect everybody for taint.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
Let's have you make one roll then,
Yeah.
and that'll be for the group as a whole.
Yeah.
22 is not bad. Yeah, so you kind of look him over as he's standing there. You notice that he doesn't have the usual crane stance where he has his hand over the hilt. He just kind of has his left hand on the actual scabbard, and he's pulled the blade up, kind of like a fist length out of his belt. But otherwise, he looks like he's cut down some of these puppets because he has that that dried up blood kind of spatter all over himself and his clothes. A few of the other people have the same kind of thing. Like you see that they've been in combat, but only one of the other samurai do you see that the blood spatter kind of is on the lower part of his face. Like you think that some of it might have gotten in his mouth. And as you kind of pull him aside and start talking to him, there are moments where you'll see that in mid talking to you, like his eye will twitch, and you'll see like a black vein kind of curl out of his of the center of the eye, where like it meets where the tear duct is, where it meets the nose.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that. Right. I'm also going to. I'm gonna go back inside to where the Kakita is.
Okay. Yeah. Again, he stops you. He stops you in that kind of like front area of the tent.
Yeah. No, I'm there to see him.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to get past him.
Yeah.
Does he like get threatening at all? Like, is he ready to like attack me? Like, do I get that feeling from him, or is he just?
No, he's
calm?
just being really defensive.
Okay. Kakita, who is in charge of this camp?
If the doji's away and Kakita Nimura is dead, sir, so I hate to say it, but I think I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, your samurai companion, the doji, I can't remember, whatever his name was. Unfortunately, it looks like he has been touched by the taint.
Are you talking about Peter's character, or are you talking about the guy that you just came from talking to?
No, the guy that I just came from. Sorry.
Okay.
Is he now a doji?
No,
I thought this whole thing was like a doji mostly.
No. There's other families here. The guy that you talked to was a Daidoji.
Oh, sorry, a Daidoji. Yeah. That's why I got confused. Yeah, Daidoji.
He's like, I understand what must be done, and
he is okay now, but the time will eventually come.
Yeah, better.
It's
now.
not my place to put them out of their misery. But he might have a few years. You get him the right jade, some maybe even some jade penalty if the dragon can spare it, and it might have a longer, healthy life.
You see, he motions for a
If
couple.
not, we can send him to the Crablands. We do have a brigade of warriors that we send into the Shadowlands that are tainted. I will be more than happy to welcome him amongst our ranks.
He looks at you for a moment. He's just like, I understand. And he motions for a couple samurai to come over and replace him. And he goes over and he starts talking to the Daidoji, and you see the Daidoji kind of nod for a moment, and he just kind of like points towards the south, towards the Crablands. And the second that he turns his attention away from the Kakita, the blade just kind of, there's just the glint of steel, and you see the head lop off and fall. He cleans the blade off. He calls the Edda over to kind of pick up the body and whatnot. And as he sheathes his blade, he comes back over to you, and with a deep, low bow, he says, I appreciate what you've done for us today, Kuni-san.
And I bow. And I say a small prayer to that person's ancestors, because I didn't think that he would be put out of his misery so quickly.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to start making my way to the mines.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to start walking that way.
All right. And so we come back to the magistrate building where Tamori Mori has given their... What are the highlights that you're going to give this council?
I saved 2 women. That's one of my highlights. And I found a cat. I'm just look at the crane. Look how angry he is. Can I want to use my etiquette so bad. Can I use my etiquette to say how eloquently I say this?
Sure, of course.
Okay. All right. Okay. I say the whole story.
Yeah.
Not very good. It was it's fine.
10. Yeah. Yeah, it is a Tamori Mori story, so there's tangents. There's animals noticed, attention to how you were really good at not flirting while you were flirting with
exactly
a large
right.
crab guy.
Yes.
But also that without you, like, the crane probably wouldn't be here.
Right. That's true.
But
I also want to mention, like, on the down low, on the sly, he did a really cool that was definitely really cool and distracted us while we saved the women, me and the crab.
Right. And of course you do mention that there is this painted crab that's been hanging out with you, and been incredibly helpful. And you see the 3 of them sitting there listening to the story. And after you're done, the Kitsuki leans forward and she's like, I can only assume that having lived with Tamori Mori for these past 2 years, that we have an understanding of how her storytelling works. It is something that we forget ourselves to pass on to someone else, as detailed as your stories are, Tamori-chan. Succinctness.
Tamori-chan?
Yeah.
Stop.
She did.
Stop it. Stop. I take note of that and I go,
yeah. Succinctness and brevity sometimes are best. But I think I speak for the 3 of us, and she kind of looks at the Shiba and at the Bayushi, and they both nod. I think that we can grant asylum to your crane friends, as it would prove a great honor to show that although this city is presided over by 3 clans, that there's no clan elitism here. And although you might have some struggles with certain other clans that we will not name, you will find refuge here.
I give a noticeable sigh of relief. Like
Yeah.
And I again bow, and this time my forehead touches the ground.
Yeah. And you see a servant kind of that has been waiting at the door. The Bayushi motions for them to come in, and she hands each of you a letter. And the Bayushi looks at you. She's like, "This arrived for both of you today. I've had them here waiting for your arrival. And I figured I would rather these be given to you after whatever business was handled. So, but please, let us make the preparations, and we will send some Ashigaru to help defend whatever numbers you have left, Doji-san."
Thank you.
I say thank you and bow, and then immediately rip open the letter.
Yeah.
Fuck is it?
And you see the 3 of them kind of bow at you as they each leave in turn, leaving you in the room to kind of read the letters.
I stand up and I look at Mori, and I'm going to read as I walk, and I am going to see my wife before I head off to the mines.
Okay. And
Actually,
this...
Mori's son, come. I have somebody to introduce you to.
Waiting. Hold up.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
What? What's in the
Let me
letter?
finish. I don't know. Hold on. It might be a love letter. Let me read.
It might be. It might be. It'll be something that we get to discuss in the next episode. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. As always, please keep washing your hands, keep wearing your masks, keep keeping your distance, because we're all in this together. And if it feels like it's rough sometimes, believe me, I understand. Just know that you can always reach out to your friends and family members, and if you are friends and family members of somebody that is usually a strong personality, please check in on them, because a hello and a how are you doing and how's your day been goes a long way. And if you feel like you can't reach out to anyone, just know that there is no stigma and that there's no taboo about getting professional help. Mental health is part of your general health, and you have to look after yourself, regardless of what that means. So please look after each other and look after yourselves. And I will see you on Friday for our Star Wars game, or on Monday for our vampire game, which will be the Camarilla chapter, or I will see you next Wednesday for our L5R game. Good night, everybody.